it's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. So glad you guys could join me for a new Tuesday tip. Hey, I have been sharing all throughout March, I've been sharing my favorite things. Today is the last video in the series and we're going to talk about the Take Your Pick tool. This is one fantastic tool. So many different tools all wrapped up in one. We love that. That saves us money and it saves us space. We have everything compact and that's really nice. I think you're going to really enjoy all the different options you have when working with this tool. So let's get started with today's Tuesday tip. All right, I'm so excited to share this tool with you. You've probably seen me use it a lot on different videos. It is one of just the most versatile tools in our catalog, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So lots of different parts and pieces to help you in your crafting. I'm going to go over each one. We're going to start with this putty end, and let me show you what this is. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. You see we have this little bit, it's just kind of a little lightly sticky putty. I think you've probably seen it. You can hold posters and things to the wall, but it's that type of putty. But it's going to help you pick up teeny tiny little things. Let me show you some examples. When I use this little putty tool, I kind of flatten it down and just kind of roll it in kind of around the little fine tip. I think that, for me anyway, it just helps. So an example might be to pick up a rhinestone. So I'm going to loosen that one off the backing there. And you can see with that putty, I can pick it up and then I can set it exactly where I want. And did you notice how it lifted right off? Let me show you that one more time. So I can pick it up with the putty. And if I had an image here and I just set it down, look at that. So a really nice one for that. Another tool I use all the time is linen thread bows. You guys see me use those. So let's say I came in and I put a dot of some Tombow multi-purpose glue and I want to pick up that bow and I want to make sure it gets right where I need it to go. Boom. Hold it there. And I can even use this other tip to press it down. But yeah, it's just another great way to pick that up. Another thing I use it for a lot. How many of you have these all over the place? And sometimes you're like, I can't pick it up. Well, you know what? That little putty end helps me pick and clean those up really nice and quickly. Detailed die cuts are another one. So if you have just put your glue all over your detailed die cut, it's kind of hard to pick it up. You don't want to get glue all over your fingers. Well, you know what? My little putty tool will help me set that right where I want it, and then I could glue that down. It's also going to work great when you're using loose sequins. Perfect for that because you can go and pick them up. I have to make a confession. I can't find my sequins. My stamp room is such a mess. I know someone can relate right now with everything that's going on, but I wanted you to know it's wonderful for that as well. All right, so that is a little bit about the putty. Oh, and I should also mention this has a refill. So when you've gone through all this putty, so let's say this has just gotten dull. It's just time to take it off. You simply peel it off. Look, not even that much waste. We throw that away and then we simply twist and it's going to release more. And we flatten it down and we're good to go again. But when that's empty, you don't have to buy the whole entire Take Your Pick tool. You can just get a refill. All right, let's close the cap on that. Let's talk about this other end. So this one actually is a 2-for-1 because you're going to get this piece as well and this one. So I'm going to unscrew this so you can see both of them here. So what we have is we have a spatula and a paper piercer, and this is probably one of the best paper piercers I've ever used, and then a stylus tool with a thin tip and a thick tip. So if you've maybe misplaced the stylus tool that comes with your Simply Scored board, nice to know you've got it right here as an all-in-one tool. And so let's go over how this works. So what you're going to do is decide which of the 4 ends you want to work with. So let's say I want to use the stylus tool, put it in, give it a twist, look, picture, lock down, you are ready to go. And there's a cap for it as well, but I will tell you, I use that cap for that paper piercer. I don't want to draw blood, not right now. So let's go ahead, since I've got the stylus tool, let's talk about some of the things you can do with the stylus tool. I'm going to bring in my piercing mat for this one. And do you wonder why I flip it over? So you see this side with the logo? That's the side that I use for stamping because I want to keep it really nice. I flip it over for all my piercing and working with the stylus tool because see, you get little dents in it. So bonus tip today, guys. Okay, so my stylus tool, as I said, I have two ends. I'm actually going to use the thick ball on this one, and I like to take any of my little punched flowers and just press right in the center. That gives that flower a completely different look. I love it. So another simple trick is to score cardstock. You notice there's that paper piercing mat, and that just allowed me to give my cardstock a nice simple score. You could do the same thing with the thin tip as well, but let's say you even wanted to give like a little decorative border. Yeah, look how quick you could do that. Yep. Just simple with that one tool, some great score lines. Our paper trimmer is awesome and it comes with a scoring blade, but it is a very thin scoring blade. So let's take this. We're going to just simply score some cardstock, and I'm just going to put that tool right down in there, and I have my score line. And what's nice, it makes a really nice deep score line. All right, now let's unlock it. So twist and pull it out. And now we're going to use, let's use that spatula end. So I'll take that paper piercer, put it inside, give it a twist. Let's talk about what we can do with this spatula. One way I've been known to use it, let's say my image did not get adhered where I wanted. I got crooked. You can slide that spatula down in between your cardstock, and it's just going to go in between the adhesive. I could do that all the way around, but I think you see how that's going to work. And then I could just simply re-adhere that. So I use it quite a bit for that because I tend to get cardstock stuck crooked. Removing embellishments. It's another thing. Let's say I just said, oh, I really don't want that ribbon there. I just simply slide my spatula right underneath that little ribbon knot. I'm grabbing the mini glue dot to gently scrape. Let's get that. Can you see the little glue string getting all in there? Okay, yeah. Now I can change out that embellishment. So yeah, there's just times that you say, I need to change things around. You need to do things. You can use that spatula to get underneath just about anything. All right, I'm going to switch it around and we're going to use our paper piercer. I really use this tool a lot. So let's talk about how we use that one. How about tying a bow directly onto a card versus using a mini glue dot? So let's say I wanted a bow up here in the corner. I will just make my two holes here with my paper piercer. Sometimes what I like to do is take it and slide it all the way through and give it a twist. You can see that kind of gives a nice clean, like rounded edge to it, a little bit cleaner. Now I can just take my ribbon, I cut it off at a nice sharp angle. That's going to allow me to get that tip into my cardstock easily. And now I am ready to tie that into a bow. Now, the other thing I do want to warn you about this technique, don't let those holes get too close together that you tear. So make sure you're giving yourself plenty of room there on either side. And look at that, I now have a nice bow, and it is on my card, not adhered to my card. It is attached. How about working with brads? We love to create with brads, but we got to get a hole for that. So it's so nice to just come in with my paper piercer. I can grab one of our metallic brads, and I don't have to worry about trying to find some hole punch or anything. I have got it right there with my Take Your Pick tool. You know, sometimes when we have things like this flower, we do want to add a little center. So there I used my, my piercer right there. I can take one of these little mini brads and put it right there. And oh, I think I want to attach that to my card. Not a problem. Poke another hole and press those prongs down. Give that another press, and there's just another way to use that little flower. Now, I always keep that cap on my paper piercer. I don't want to talk about the blood that I have drawn before. Now, I'm going to share with you another little bonus for the Take Your Pick tool. This is an optional piece, but it's pretty awesome. And it's my detailed die brush. Oh my goodness, do I love this. You simply unscrew your putty and then screw in your die brush. So let me show you how this works. By the way, these little mats are going to help you use your die brush, and you get 2 of them, but we only need 1 for right now. So you've just run something through your die cutting machine, lots of little details in there. I just run my die brush right over it, and look at that, pulls all those little pieces out. Now I'm going to take it, I missed just a couple, but I can go directly over the die itself, or the die cut itself. And if you have any little pieces, oh look, I don't know if you can see, like a couple little pieces right in there, we can run this die brush over the die again and make sure all those, there's one, that we have all those little tiny pieces out of there. Now that one's being stubborn, but you know what? I have a piercer tool, and it's right here handy, and boom, I can just hit it with the piercer tool real quick if I found one that was just bound to be stubborn. All right, so there we go. A really great way to use your dies, detailed dies. That little brush is fabulous. Remember, this is a separate attachment. Great to have so that you can have all these pieces together. Can I show you one more tip with this? I bought one of our wide stamp cases. Okay, these are available where you can just buy them for storage and things. We've used them on several Tuesday tip videos, but I keep those little mats in here. So I can take that, I can throw this away, and it would just be wrong if I didn't come back in and show you how I can use that putty tool to kind of clean up some of these little extra pieces. It's just nice to have a place to store those, and that way when I am working with this die brush, if I have all those little pieces, it's easy to contain them and then take it to my trash to dump versus, oh, having this and trying to get it over to the trash can without spilling them. So I really do like having those 2 mats right there in that case. There you go. It is an incredible tool. I hope that you guys will take a moment to check it out over at simplysimplestamping.com. And if you'd like to add that to your order, it's easy. Click a pic. It'll take you right to my online store. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of today's video. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.